2018 Volkswagen Golf Estate Review. The good points of Volkswagen Golf Estate: commodious luggage space, generous equipment levels, Golf R performance, economical engines. The bad points of Volkswagen Golf Estate: more expensive than rivals, options around the dear side, still no GTI estate. Under the modern Volkswagen Golf Estate's bonnet resides many turbocharged engines both in TSI petrol and TDI diesel forms. There ain't any great surprises with all the Volkswagen Golf Estate, and that is partly why it's our favorite load lars from the lower medium family car segment. Essentially, it's a 7th generation VW Golf which has a bigger boot, so it's a much better bet for families who require more carrying capacity and practicality versus the regular medium-sized family hatchback may offer them. The finished outcome is one which shares an in-depth family resemblance to your hatch, enjoying its high-quality, premium feel but that has a less awkward bottom design than its predecessors. It's an industry segment with a lot of players, and so the Golf Estate finds itself against mainstream alternatives, for example the Ford Focus Estate, Renault Megane Sport Tourer, Peugeot 308 SW and Vauxhall Astra Sports Tourer, in addition to in-house rivals from the shapes with the Seat Leon ST and Skoda Octavia Estate. Increased carrying capacity. At 4,562 mm, the Volkswagen Golf Estate is 307 mm more than its hatchback sibling. That is the primary belief that its boot space increases by 100 litres together with the rear seats up. With an extensive tailgate opening, an uncluttered low AB plus a forward folding front passenger seat to match long loads, the Golf Estate is a straightforward and practical car to live on with, but it really is not essentially the most spacious within the segment. Instead you're paying extra for that appointments rather as opposed to accommodation, together with the Golf Estate being generously equipped in SE and GT guises, although buyers who opt for your cheaper S-grade will forego many on the niceties and active precautionary features. Cost-effective to perform. Under the modern Volkswagen Golf Estate's bonnet resides numerous turbocharged engines in the TSI petrol and TDI diesel forms. Bookending the lineup include the 1.6-litre TDI with CO2 emissions only 103 grams/km for impressive levels of fume isolateness, along with the high-performance Golf Estate R, able to reaching 155 miles per hour and dashing from 0 to 62 miles per hour in mere 4.8 seconds. Unlike its hatchback equivalent, they work just like GTE plug-in hybrid or all-electric Golf Estate versions designed for even more ecological motoring. High amounts of equipment. Whichever variant from the Golf Estate going for, you will discover an 8.0-inch color touchscreen inside center console, with incorporated sat-nav on higher specification models. Also standard through the range are roof rails, DAB radio, auxiliary connections including USB, Bluetooth connectivity, a visit computer as well as an electronic parking brake. Unsurprisingly, the most up-to-date Volkswagen Golf Estate is fitted with all the same active safety equipment how the hatchback range enjoys. This means whichever trim level you select it will be fitted with the automatic post-crash braking mechanism which ensures the auto is taken to a halt when it didn't stop as soon as the initial incident. Spend extra using a SE or GT grade Golf Estate and other features Volkswagen calls front assist and city emergency braking are included from the package, each of which will automatically slow the auto if it detects something in the path. These versions also make use of adaptive cruise control. Facelift for 2017. Available from spring 2017, the Golf Estate received a gentle visual facelift, limited to new lights, with a lot more LEDs and bumpers. More important were the under-the-skin modifications, including a revised engine lineup, having a new 2 of 1.5-litre TSI Evo engines in 130 horsepower and 150 horsepower outputs available later in 2017. The 110 horsepower 1.6-litre diesel also incrementally increases in chance to 115 horsepower. The verdict. the Golf estate builds about the hatchback's virtues, which consists of wide array of engines, trim levels and premium fill cabin. There may be more entertaining options to drive, though the Golf remains a benchmark that's challenging to overlook. Watch the total Volkswagen Golf estate review to discover why we rate this premium feeling wagon so highly. Smooth, economical engines. No hybrid or electric options. Performance versions offer thrills. Depending upon your preferences, you can combination a variety of turbocharged petrol and diesel engines with both manual and DSG automatic gearboxes, while using greatest Volkswagen Golf estate performance delivered from the R version. Watch, we compare the new VW Golf R against its Seat Leon Coupe rival. Both it and also the GTD are the sportier choices together with the estate body. Unlike the hatchback, there isn't any GTI derivative. Neither it is possible to GTE plug-in hybrid nor all-electric version either. Petrol power. As part on the 2017 facelift, the fuel-efficient 1.0-litre TSI Blue Motion and 1.2-litre TSI powerplants were dropped and is overtaken by two revised versions on the 1.0-litre TSI. Entry-level Golf estate see an 85 horsepower addition on this three-cylinder engine, producing 175 Nm of torque. A 5-speed manual transmission would be the only gearbox available here, as well as the quoted 0 to 62 miles per hour of 12.6 seconds might point to how this entry-level engine may struggle together with the estate's weight, particularly when fully laden. Likely to become more popular may be the 110 horsepower version from the same power plant, producing 200 Nm of torque from 2000 revolutions per minute. Available having a 6-speed manual or 7-speed DSG automatic gearbox, it seems like quite sprightly in some recoverable format, with both versions posting a 122 miles per hour along with a 10.4 second 0 to 62 miles per hour time. Joining kids in 2017 are two new 1.5-litre TSI Evo powerplants in 130 horsepower and 150 horsepower forms. The former replaces the first sought 125 horsepower 1.4-litre TSI, plus the latter is bound to GT and R-Line models. Performance and torque figures with the 130 horsepower 1.5-litre are yet for being confirmed, but are both available having a 6-speed manual or optional 7-speed DSG automatic gearbox. Regardless of gearbox, the 150 horsepower 1.5-litre produces 250 Nm of pulling power, achieves a high speed of 135 miles per hour and contains a 0 to 62 miles per hour duration of 8.7 seconds. Rapid Golf Estate R model. Sharing its 2.0-litre TSI engine and 4-motion 4-wheel drive system together with the hatchback, the Golf Estate R packs a 310 horsepower punch, with 380 Nm of torque at 2000 revolutions per minute, delivering the accelerative force. Worry not, the only gearbox option would be the 7-speed DSG automatic. This remains one very swift wagon. Top speed is electronically governed to 155 miles per hour, whilst it darts to 62 miles per hour from the standstill in 4.8 seconds. Diesel derivatives. Smallest in the diesel engines are a couple of 1.6-litre TDIs, in 90 horsepower and 115 horsepower forms. They deliver 230 Nm and 250 Nm of torque, respectively, both driving the top wheels with a 5-speed manual. A 7-speed DSG automatic is available for the punchier engine. While the lower-powered version has yet to obtain its performance figures announced, the gutsier derivative manages 124 miles per hour as well as 10.7 seconds for that 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint, in spite of gearbox. The larger 2.0-litre TDI can be available in two outputs, 150 horsepower and, exclusively for your GTD and GTD Blue line, 184 horsepower. 6-speed manuals and 7-speed DSG automatics are provided by both versions. With 314 Nm of torque available, the less powerful version only uses a sprightly 8.9 seconds to try the 0 to 62 miles per hour dash, using the manual pressing on to a highly regarded speed of 135 miles per hour, 1 mile per hour more compared to the DSG-equipped version. For the GTD and GTD Blue Line, torques increased to 380 Nm, still from 1,750 revolutions per minute, which shaves an entire second off the 0 to 62 miles per hour time for manual versions, dropping to 7.8 seconds on DSG-equipped models. Top speed is 144 miles per hour for both transmissions. Smooth shifting DSG automatic gearbox. The optional 7-speed DSG automatic gearbox changes gear seamlessly with almost no jerkiness under most driving conditions. It could be sluggish to have interaction from standstill, however, resulting in floundering at roundabouts or junctions. Safe, predictable handling characteristics. Superb traction on Golf R especially. Effective adaptive suspension system. Like its hatchback counterpart, this generation Volkswagen Golf Estate is on a good diet, in which it's lost a big 105 kilograms compared featuring its predecessor. Additionally, it's slower and it has a wider, more muscular stance. These factors pay dividends when it comes to improving the handling, which feels barely different on the hatchback Golf. By keeping the weight closer on the ground, the Volkswagen Golf Estate will be able to remain more stable through corners, having a smaller tendency to roll mainly because it sweeps through bends. This also helps once the overall weight with the car increases using a heavy payload within the boot. Turn the Golf Estate through corners with a twisty B road and it's a lightly rewarding, pleasant companion. Nonetheless, it's not just a sports car wearing an enormous backpack, at least inside lower echelons from the range. The electricity steering system offers little real feel of what leading wheels accomplish, but by becoming heavier at higher speeds it compensates for this reasonably well. You can vary the weighting with the driver mode controls. Never are you detached through the driving experience, and corners is usually tackled quickly due towards the Volkswagen's high numbers of traction, amplified because of the standard fit XDS electronic differential metering power for the front wheels. Choose the optional adaptive chassis control system to modify between normal, comfort and sport suspension modes using the dashboard touchscreen. Driver and passengers will notice a difference between settings, mainly from the ride quality changing. Thankfully, selecting comfort doesn't result in the Golf wallow through bends, nor does sport perhaps you have searching the soil mats for just about any lost fillings. High-performance Golf Estate R. With its 4-motion 4-wheel drive package with an uprated XDS Plus electronic differential, the second shared while using GTD, even for sharper cornering, the Golf Estate R is just as impressive since its hatchback counterpart. Traction has never been found wanting because the system detects when wheels start to spin and diverts power for the remaining ones within fractions of the second. You can cover ground rapidly, but, although it's not as fast, the Ford Focus ST Estate probably will put a more impressive smile on the face because of its layeriness being cranked up. The Golf R is its more demure foil. Classy cabin is commonly Volkswagen. Everything appears like it's created to last. Switchgear is deliciously tactile. As together with the hatchback, the full Volkswagen Golf Estate dashboard is angled to your driver greater than any previous generation, much inside the same way many BMW interiors do. Quality of materials used is incredibly high, with squidgy, soft-touch plastics along the upper surfaces and resilient, firmer components lower down. It appears to become impeccably constructed too, without having squeaks or rattles appearing. It doesn't matter how poor the path surface. Interior revisions introduced with the 2017 facelift feature an improved multimedia system which range from an 8.0-inch touchscreen with a 9.2-inch selection for higher-spec models. The Active Info Display instrumentation, VW's version of Virtual Cockpit, is present in Audis, with customizable graphics is usually available, replacing the standard analog dials using a 12.3-inch screen. If any minor criticism could possibly be laid at Volkswagen store, it would be which the interior might be unimaginative, looking similar in fashion to just about every other VW's dashboard. Various cubbies and stowage areas are given, that are sensibly sized for real-life belongings and detritus we're inclined to move around along with us, keeping everything tidily hidden away. 3 are located within the center console, 1 immediately behind the gear lever concealing a set of 2 cup holders, even though the door pockets and glove box are spacious enough for drinks bottles. Switch gear feels great, make use of and is well armed, the big touch screen with menu buttons at its sides being particularly effective. That said, the rotary volume control for your stereo is replaced using a small list of touch buttons if the largest 9.2-inch screen is equipped. It makes an easy process frustratingly fiddly, meaning it's best to utilize those fitted around the steering wheel instead. The multi-function display between 2 main instruments has a little bit of learning when using the leader buttons, nonetheless it soon becomes intuitive. Supportive seats even on non-sporty models. Adaptive damping an advisable feature. Impressive quantities of quietness within the cabin. It's not an exaggeration to declare that several supposed luxury cars cannot rival the suppleness and refinement demonstrated from this car, while using Volkswagen Golf estate comfort can be a priority, most noticeably inside way in which it absorbs bumps from the road better than its key rivals. Seats for the non-performance models are supportive, with modest numbers of side bolstering. They help keep you firmly in position without feeling like you're being squeezed. Even the thicker side cushions within the GTD and R don't believe that they're pinching your hips. The optional Vienna leather seating on certain models are firm enough to get supportive longer journeys, however are an expensive option, equating to 10% with the list price for a few versions, despite coming with heated functionality and lumbar adjustment. Whether occupying the leading or rear seats, adults over 6 feet tall will find a good amount of space because of their limbs, while headroom is generous too. The optional glass roof also helps to make the cabin feel airier, but results in a slightly noisier cabin. Outer rear seat passengers additionally reap the benefits of sculpted sections from the bench, however the flatter center section doesn't feel particularly compromised. Opt to the adaptive chassis control package that permits different drive modes for being chosen, varying the ride quality between normal, comfort and sport. Comfort results in a more relaxed driving experience, cosseting the passengers using a very smooth ride quality that doesn't affect handling negatively. Switch to sport and also the handling's responses are sharpened, consequently firming the ride quality too. It doesn't become uncomfortable, and for the majority of road surfaces, sport feels no harsher versus the standard setup on some rivals. Unsurprisingly, normal is midway involving the 2 and X because the default setting. 7 trim levels overall from S to R via GTD. DAB radio, Bluetooth and aircon standard on all. Fewer option packs than about the Golf hatchback. There's an easy range of trim levels for your Golf estate, which slightly confusingly don't run wholly in parallel with the ones from its hatchback counterpart. Standard Volkswagen Golf estate equipment. Starting point from the Golf estate hierarchy is S grade, which has a reasonable number of standard equipment, so it's hardly poverty spec. Body-colored handles, mirror caps and bumpers can be found and correct, with contrasting black roof rails. However, the wheels are 15-inch steel items, furnished with full-width trims. LED day running lights and partial LED tail lamps were introduced inside 2017 facelift. Once aboard, you'll appreciate the electric windows all round, aircon, as well as the multimedia system's 8.0-inch touchscreen, full of DAB radio, Bluetooth connectivity, along with the efficient driving promoting Think Blue Trainer. Good value inside the middle from the range may be the say. Using S because it is base, Match Edition adds 16-inch Toronto alloy wheels, washers with the automatic headlights, rain-sensing wipers, parking sensors front and back, electrically folding door mirrors and adaptive cruise control. Once inside, you'll appreciate the leather-wrapped multifunction tire, lumbar adjustment for that front seats and also a rear armrest. New towards the range from 2017 is Say Navigation, which, unsurprisingly, is based for the Say trim but adds the Discover navigation system and CarNet internet access by using a 9.2-inch touchscreen. there's a sporty luxury vibe together with the GT. Exterior embellishments compared together with the same navigation include 17-inch Dijon alloys, chrome trims around the top bumper and grille, silver roof rails, LED front fog lamps with cornering function and rear privacy glass. Plushness is ramped up inside with art velours seat upholstery, more chrome trimmings and soft glow ambient lighting. First on the sporty Golf estates would be the GTD. It mirrors the hatchback's black and silver signature trim and also the 18-inch Seville alloys. In addition to keyless entry units, there are full LED headlamps, LED taillights, active info display, virtual instruments, dual zone climate control and plaid upholstery. Differing only slightly could be the GTD Blue line introduced in 2017. It rides on 17-inch Curitiba alloys for improved fuel economy, reducing CO2 emissions. Crowning the Golf estate range may be the R, both when it comes to speed and specification. The 18-inch alloy wheels are upgraded on the Cadiz design as well as the suspension's 15 mm lower. There's an R-specific body kit and exterior detailing, including a rear diffuser and side bumper with 4 oval exhaust pipes protruding from that. Optional Volkswagen Golf estate extras. As full of equipment because the Golf estate is, you really should personalize it further with extra cost options. Fancy racier rims? Sure, with assorted designs to select from in 15 to 19 inches based upon the trim level. A number of optional solid, metallic, pearlescent and signature paint finishes can be purchased, complemented by the entire leather interior. No Golf estate has it as a standard. Electrically adjustable front seats may also be ordered. You can upspec your GTD or R model with even darker rear privacy glass, while lower-end models may have a bi-xenon headlamp upgrade. Practicality is bolstered with all the forward-folding front passenger seat and keyless entry, while comfort's further heightened with dual-zone climate control, a panoramic glass roof and adaptive suspension. Conventional analog instruments might be replaced with the configurable active info display. Multimedia system upgrades add the Discover navigation versions, in conjunction with additional functionality for Android Auto, Apple CarPlay and MirrorLink. Additionally, there's a range of option bundles, but they're not all provided with every trim level, so check using the VW retailer which combinations are possible. Convenience pack covers an automatically dimming rear view mirror, and automatic lights and wipers. Mirror pack, electrically folding door mirrors with puddle lights included in them. Winter pack, heated front seats, headlamp washers and heated windscreen washer jets. High degrees of standard safety kit. But plenty more remains optional. 5-star Euro NCAP crash test rating. Safety of most Volkswagen Golf estate models is bolstered by all models being fitted with 7 airbags, including one with the driver's knees. Additionally, ABS, electronic stability systems, and 5 3-point seatbelts with ISOFIX mountings for the outer 2 rear seats are complemented by an XDS electronic differential for much more secure handling. Further safety measures include monitors for lane departure and driver alertness that are carried over on the hatchback. SAE and GT specifications go further with autonomous emergency braking, which detects the proximity with other road users and brakes for the driver to try to avoid collisions, and adaptive cruise control to evaluate the distance to your vehicle before keeping a secure distance behind. Although the estate version hasn't specifically been tested by independent safety experts Euro NCAP, the Golf hatchback achieved a 5-star rating, and this too should prove to get a safe VW in order to travel. Sensibly shaped boot space with flexible touches. Spacious, certainly, although not the biggest at college. Forward-folding passenger seat a great option. Sensibly, while using Volkswagen Golf estate, practicality was one in the designer's watchwords. Due for the longer body and increased wheelbase length over its predecessor, boot space has jumped by 100 litres to 605 litres using the rear seats up. Fold the 60-40 split bench on to create a near-flat low outby of merely 1,620 litres, representing a 125-litre increase. If outright space is the priority, though, take a closer look for the Peugeot 308 SW and Skoda Octavia Estate, with 660 and 610-litre capacities, respectively. Adding to its functionality is usually a boot floor that could accept rectangular loads of merely 831 mm long and 1003 mm wide. Opt for that forward-tipping front passenger seat, and overall load length for narrower items increases to 2671 mm. All that space is of little use whether or not this is tough to access, but this isn't an issue the Golf Estate has, using a wide 1031 mm tailgate opening which could swallow 675 mm tall items. Neither will you be needing biceps like Desperate Dan to lift goods up towards the loading lip, as a result of it as being a conveniently low 635 mm from the earth. Neat touches about having a retractable luggage cover which is usually stowed in the boot floor you should definitely required. The floor itself is usually concerted and it approximately create partitions from the luggage bay too. If you exhaust space from the Golf Estate, all models are fitted with roof rails, which can be finished in silver for the GT, GTD and R versions.